Okay, so this will be a feedback slash critique for mfbandit. I took a look through reading what Jamie was telling you to make sure I don't cover anything he already said. But I do second a lot of his points. The main thing I want to focus on is just your lack of small Tekken, right? You try to poke here and there, but again, your overall playstyle still has a lot of overcommitment issues. It has improved, right? I see a lot more down 4, I see a lot more down forward 1, and I see a lot more down forward 4. But it's like what he's talking about is that you try to go for these hard reads, and it's like, oh, okay, cool, your hard read didn't work out, right? So for example, let's say, is this the match? When you start off in this Heihachi match, right? Oh, you know me by now. You know the drill, right? I'm not a professional. I'm just here to say, hey, here are my observations. Make of it what you will. So right here, right? Okay, so the entire time that he's approaching you, right? Where are your jabs, right? Remember, your jab is your best pressure tool, or in a lot of situations, your best pressure tool, your best keep out, your best poke, right? 10 frames plus on block plus 8 on hit, and string follow-ups if you needed them, right? When the opponent is so close to you and throwing themselves at you, you need something in order to make them second guess their timing, right? Down forward 1 and down forward 4 are good buttons, right? But you're lacking a critical speed in counter poking and playing keep out against your opponent. This is the same whether it's the Heihachi match or whether it's the King matches, right? And then the overcommitment, where is it? Lack of punishment, but I think you talked to Jamie about what was going on there. Why are you doing CD4? What is the mindset here, right? What exactly is your goal? What exactly is your mindset? What were you thinking? That you just... I know I'm 15 minutes into a match here, so I just kind of like, all right, let me look at a later match. You might be on like layer 4, right? But even if you guys are on like layer 4 mind game because you guys have been playing for so long, it doesn't excuse the lack of jabbing. It also really doesn't warrant... Because this happens again twice. He whiff punishes you here... weak punishment, that's whatever. Random, maybe that was just lack of match knowledge. I don't know what's going on there. Lack of punishment on the stagger block. Was it here? Again, so there, right? So you know, let me know what exactly... Actually, it's been forever. Oh god, yeah. No, it's only been a week, a little bit over a week. I don't know. Look, man, a week and a half. You, like, again, it goes into like, yes, it is better than before, but there's just too much overcommitment on a lot of interactions that you don't need to commit on, right? Again, it goes back into, you have to take these small steps in order to cash out later into the smaller steps, right? Like, if you look at Jamie's style, the reason he can get these big capitalizations on, you know, the big Hail Mary reads whenever he makes them, or these specific callouts against his opponents, is because he spent the entire round just whittling down his opponent's mental state with a flurry of pokes, a flurry of throws, and a flurry of just movement, right? You have the movement, you have a little bit of the poking, but I'm not seeing a lot of throws, and not a lot. So basically, it's for your poking and keep out, you're still not using a jab as much as you should be. For your when you do get pressure opportunities, for example, you land a lot of 2-1 punishes, you land a lot of forward neutral 2. The Heihachi stand still, you do down forward 3, right? As a specific call out for something, but then you never adjust it. So in those situations, when you get a big punish, right, or a big low with forward neutral 2, you should be throwing them. You should be capitalizing on your on your momentum and, you know, make the opponent's mental stack overload, right? Maybe to be fair, I didn't watch the other 15 minutes of matches because I was just kind of like, all right, let me look at some matches near the end, right? Maybe you're overcorrecting for, let's say, like he ducked you once and he whiff punished you, or he's just breaking every throw in existence, right? If I watch 2 straight matches in a row, and if I watch the king matches, and the only time that you're throwing him is when your back is to the wall and you're going for a giant swing, I think there's a problem. Yes, Armor King is not a full-on grappler like King. He is not necessarily a, you know, what's the word? He's not trying to throw people 24/7, but that doesn't mean he wants to use 0 throws, right? In my opinion, utilizing the throws is a critical aspect of taxing your opponent's mental stack as Armor King, right? He has a full throw game. You need to use it so that the opponent will do stuff that will, again, make your other tools better. It goes back into the whole ebb and flow of all your tools interconnecting. Why do I constantly stress jabbing? Why do I constantly stress throws? Because these will make your mids a lot better. When your opponent starts to try and duck or move away from your throws, right, forward, neutral 2 gets better. If they don't hard duck, if they try to use movement, you can utilize the tracking from forward, neutral 2. If they try to jab you and call you out, you can utilize the high crushing of forward, neutral 2. If they try to constantly challenge your jabs with low crush moves, your mids, your fast mids will usually catch those, right? You're trying to like bake a pie, but then you're missing like the foundation, right? You're trying to build something here, but the foundation is still very shaky. You're using a lot of mids and a lot of better like small tech and pokes, sure, but you're not using enough and you're not dispersing them enough. There's not a lot of variety in your poking, right? If all I ever have to worry about from you is the occasional down 4 and then a bunch of mids and a bunch of hard callouts, I'm just going to go, okay, cool, so I can just pressure you as much as I want, right? And then you'll get frustrated and you're going to strictly look at a situation as an RPS situation, right? You're strictly going to look at a interaction that we have and go, okay, I got to make a hard commitment. When you don't, right? Movement and your jab are still there in order to give you more options. If you strictly look at situations in a limited capacity of just standard low block, challenge with the move, panic move, right? I only have to worry about a select few options versus if you look at, okay, well, in this situation, I can either move, I can jab here, I can down 4 here, I can do this here. If you expand your defensive arsenal, you force your opponent to second guess their offense and expand their offensive arsenal, right? You make them have to mix up their own timing, and if their timing gets stale, you'll easily defeat them, or force them to use other awkward options that they're not necessarily able to do, maximize, right? If you consistently challenge the Heihachi at times when he's feeling like he can press buttons for free, that'll make him second guess it. So then maybe he'll incorporate a backdash or a sidestep, or he'll press a different button, which will not leave you in the same fuck situation as before, right? The idea is that if you have a very annoying option from the opponent and you go, okay, well, this low risk option helps me kind of stave off that pressure, and you're able to force the opponent to use a different option, now you don't have to deal with that very annoying option, the first annoying option, right? Yeah, I mean, this isn't going to be a long video. That's kind of the core thing I'm seeing here still, is that the foundation is okay, but now we're hitting the point of like, hey man, you're not jabbing enough. You're overcommitting on options, and you have to quickly understand that you have to develop a sense of how to use a jab, how to make sure your tools interweave with one another, right? Why am I seeing wave dash into CD4, right? Maybe it was supposed to be wave dash into wall standing 4 and you just kind of fucked up the input. I don't know, right? Why is the opponent being able to stand still after you land like forward, neutral 2, right? Why do you constantly do down 4-3? What exactly is the game plan there, right? Why do you do down 4-3 there? Why not just go, okay, I hit him with wall standing 4, he's just going to hold back, he doesn't really move around a lot, he'll maybe try to do like that annoying side jump Heihachi has or whatever. the big sidestep he can do sometimes. But I don't think he's going to do it after wall standing 4. Let me do a crouch dash throw, right? A pure 50-50, right? He has to guess 1 or 2, right? And yeah, the crouch dash throws aren't, God's gift to Armor King or whatever, but, the quick crouch dash throw that'll side switch, suddenly his back is to the wall, you get a minimal amount of damage, but decent enough Oki options, right? You don't have to complete the full throw, you just need to, 1, get out of this wall position you're in against a Hachi, and then 2, take advantage of the fact that he's just very passive on defense, right? Oh, there's a jab. Unfortunate timing, but I still don't see as much jabs as I feel like I should, right? Oh, is that what the thing was for? I guess. Was it? I don't think it's worth it. Again, this is an overcommitment. For this one interaction, right? You lost a full round in a previous situation and then lost a huge fat chunk of damage in another, right? I don't think it's worth it. If you had built up to it and you make the hard read of like, all right, based on the previous interactions I have with my opponent, I know that this is their defensive habit, and then doing CD4, this timing in this situation will either get blocked or work out, right? Because now, from what it seems like on my perspective, is that you're just kind of like, oh shit, I don't know what to do. All right, wavoo CD4, because I think he's gonna go for crouch dash throws. I mean, I'll probably watch the other matches at some point. I just kind of want to see, all right, what's going on in the later rounds. Maybe you are using a lot of jabs and CD throws in the earlier rounds, but it just feels very suspect that, like, is he really beating you down that much that in these later rounds that I'm watching that they cease to exist? And even if you did them in the earlier rounds, like, why did they stop, right? Why are we not bringing those back? And it's the same thing with like the King situation. Right, he's just running in front of you for free. You're doing down forward 1, down forward 2, 1 for some reason, overcommitting on a lot of options. Immediately, okay, so like immediately, right? He does forward 1. You don't immediately throw him. You try to go straight for down forward 1, but it feels like, what exactly is that conditioning for? And then all right, hey, that was a good call out, actually. So you got down 4 there. Unfortunate. Always got to duck those. So again, look at. He's just holding back. He's not like afraid of your offense. He knows that after every situation that he does forward 1. You're just going to wait, right, and not really punish him for, throwing himself at your face and leaving himself at -4, -5, right? Make him second guess. Like, he should not be able to stand so close to you and then just hold back and walk backwards slowly, right? At the very least, don't just overcommit to like 1, 2. Do a singular jab. Why are we doing wall standing 2, right? What exactly is this hard call out for? What is your game plan? What do you hope to achieve, right? If you're just throwing out these buttons, congratulations, you just left yourself at range 0 to 1 at -9 against King. The world is now his oyster. Is that really where you want to be? Is that really what you want to be doing? Leaving yourself at -9 against King. You got thrown. Do you tech? No, that's okay. I don't tech either. It's again, he hasn't in every single interaction that I've watched from this, he hasn't pressed after forward 1, right? I'm sure that if he just sidesteps or backdash down 4 through a whiff, that move sucks, right? I mean, I guess it doesn't suck. It's just, no, I think it sucks. I don't know. A lot of AK players like it. It's a poor man's AK Brian forward 3, right? Like, if he's not moving around, if he's not pressing into it, why do you keep doing it? I just don't know what's going on here, right? is there a reason why down 4-3 is like your button of choice here? And so yeah, we see a lot of the core issues are there, and it's like, I don't understand why you feel that you have to commit to these options as Armor King, right? The biggest strength Armor King has is his flexibility. You never have to commit to anything. He doesn't, yeah, it feels like it sometimes, sure, because he doesn't have like some crazy power move to just constantly throw out. I get that. But the reality is that you never have to commit options that you don't want to, right? You don't have to commit to this counter hit game plan. You never have to commit to a throwing game plan. You never have to commit to like a poking game plan. You have a lot of flexibility in your kit. Oops. You have a lot of flexibility in your kit, and I'm just not seeing any of that flexibility on display in your gameplay, right? That sounded harsher than I intended, but it's just, I guess it's like tough love, right? Anyway, I will cut it here. That's really the core point I'm trying to drive home, right? I need to see more jabs. I need to see more utilization of a game plan, right? Set up a goal, establish how you're going to get your opponent to that goalpost, right? You want your opponent to duck, start doing throws and highs, right? Start doing your throws, lows, and highs, right? If you want down 4-3 to be like a real button, you need to give your opponent more reasons to duck here, right? Start using CD throws more often. I don't understand the overcommitment to CD4, or just use wave dash as a sort of as a budget dash block, right? It's still not as good as dash block. I still think you got to commit a little bit, but you still, you know, it's not like you're locked in like a roll dash, right? You can just wave dash in a little bit, threaten something, and then hold back, right? See what they do, use it as an information gathering tool. That can come down later in the line. My main points here are, you have to really just reduce the amount of commitment you're doing, right? You need to be more active in your defense. If the opponent presses a button in your face that leaves them at anything, in any sort of like negative frames, unless it's like a specific setup like Josie doing switch 2 into hop kick, right, that fucks up everybody's jabs, right? Unless it's like those types of weird specific setups, there shouldn't be a reason why the opponent should feel comfortable in pressing a button in your face, leaving themselves at a negative situation, and then just holding back because they don't have to fear anything, right? They know you're not going to do anything crazy. Anyway, man, I'll get going for now. If you have any questions, if you have a more recent set you'd like to go over, or if you'd like me to expand my points a little bit more, like how, you know, hey, Shazam, what you're saying here doesn't make any fucking sense, right? Totally valid, completely fair, right? Let me know, right? If you have any questions, let me know. If any of this helped, awesome. I'm more than happy. If it did not, let me know where I can improve or what sort of feedback you'd have or what exactly you're looking for. All right, man? All right, have a good one.